So over 1 million active users in South Africa, which is actually incredible for a photo sharing app. I mean, everybody's kind of taken to it. It's interesting because Instagram doesn't have any advertising options. So there's no easy way for marketers just to go onto the platform and make a success of it. So the important thing about Instagram is that the users are there, the brands are not there. We've got, I think the best brand in South Africa is Woolworths on Instagram, and they've got about 10,000 followers, which is still incredible for a local brand presence on quite a new network. But Instagram, it was the social network darling of 2013. And I think in 2014 we're going to see even more growth from it, especially as it integrates more with other social networks. Well, I think within certain industries. Recently, I think 2 months ago, SA Tourism had a campaign on Instagram that worked pretty well. And I think in order to really engage that audience, you have to understand who the influencers are on Instagram. And it's not the normal influencers that you'd find on Twitter or LinkedIn. It's photography content, you know, it's tourism, it's the creatives, it's art, that sort of thing. And you know, a lot of people don't actually want to engage with brands at all on Instagram. It's a very private network for them. You know, they share their personal thoughts and feelings through photos. So in order for brands to really connect and do well, they have to understand who those influencers are and understand the kind of content that's being produced on Instagram, because it's different from any other network. And also, importantly, is to connect it with other networks. Instagram doesn't have an advertising option. So in order to really get exposure, you have to connect it back to a Twitter campaign or a Facebook campaign, or even an AdWords campaign of sorts, in order to really get the maximum exposure possible for that. It's interesting because every social network has its own set of hashtags and hashtag rules almost. You know, Twitter has its own thing like Follow Friday FF. You know, Instagram has IG is Joburg, and Insta Good, and you know, a lot of people tag their photos like that. So it's almost like its own lexicon. I think for the right hashtags, you can get a lot of exposure if you know which hashtags to use, because there's a lot of people searching over a certain hashtag. You know, I might want to see all sunset photos in Joburg, so I'd search for sunset, the hashtag sunset. And you know, if someone's tagged it with that photo, then I'll be able to see it and follow that user or engage with that piece of content. So hashtags, I think, are as important as ever, but they have to be taken seriously. You have to know what hashtags your community is looking for and what hashtags really make sense for your content. And don't overdo it. I mean, there's nothing worse than a hashtag spammer, spamming, you know, 20 hashtags per photo.